about 30. So that is 3 times nearly what we found sort of lower on the road when we started.
And this at a spot which is freely accessible to the public. A bridle path leads along the riverbank. Bernie and Alice Smith are critical of the authorities. They believe that they are being deliberately imprecise about their work.
So when the authorities take a sample and they measure, they might take 1 sample here.
What I used to say to journalists, they just want to know what happens from year to year. They don't want to know what happened 50 years ago. And, you know, they try and hide that, but it's there.
So you don't take deep samples, they don't take deep samples. They take surface, very few samples are taken. So they get the evidence that they're looking for rather than what would be in the interests of public health.
The authorities haven't even measured plutonium at this spot. We take a soil sample and we'll have it evaluated back in Germany at the University of Mainz. The result turns out to be alarming. The amount of plutonium is up to 10 times higher than the permissible limit.
Okay, that's the first sample. The other sample will come from far more.
How dangerous is it to live in Sellafield? Professor Richard Wakeford from the University of Manchester doesn't think it's that dangerous. The operators like to quote him. After having worked for almost 30 years in the nuclear industry, he is considered to be one of the luminaries on the subject of radiation risks.
Well, I think that's... We go into the corner over there. Prepare the chair over there. Sure, okay.
I assess the risks from radiation in an aircraft flight or living in Seascale to be very small, and it should really not be of major concern to parents or anyone else. There are much more important things to be worried about. There are 2 major ideas. Either childhood leukemia is a rare response to a common but as yet unidentified infection, or large-scale urban-rural population mixing, there has been an increase of childhood leukemia. I mean, that's very compelling epidemiological evidence.
Conclusion. Either a virus or population mixing around Sellafield is responsible for cancer, but not the highly toxic nuclear waste from the sea.
I mean, there was...
We are confused and ask a German expert, the physician Klaus Hoffmann, a member of the various German federal government's radiation protection committees. We meet the busy scientist in a Bonn hotel.
What do you say when UK experts stand there and proclaim that these connections don't exist?
Well, they are simply wrong. There is little evidence for the population mixing hypothesis, and there is absolutely no evidence of the virus hypothesis. There is neither a virus, nor are there antibodies. In other words, forget this whole infection hypothesis. These hypotheses that have arisen primarily to explain away any risk from radiation.
Das Strahlenrisiko eben wegzudiskutieren.
It is no longer possible to explain away radiological risks contained in internal IAEA documents. Here we read of the advantages, low energy costs, jobs. But there is also a record here of the very things Professor Wakeford is refuting. Radiation is indeed responsible for shorter life expectancy and premature death. Cancer is also named as the cause: leukemia, bone cancer, thyroid cancer, lung cancer. Here are private videos.